Welcome to VMblog's coverage of VMware Explore 2025, taking place in Las Vegas. And today we have the pleasure of having Liam Sosinsky, who is the Senior Product Marketing Manager of Azure Infrastructure at Microsoft. That's a mouthful.
Hey, thanks, Brian. It's a pleasure to be joining you and David today.
So, Liam, maybe you can start by kind of giving us a quick overview of what your division at Microsoft is focused on.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So, at Microsoft, our broader mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. And in 2025, we're delivering on that mission by focusing on three core areas that come to mind, more specifically in my area of the business, which are infrastructure modernization, AI-driven innovation, and seamless operations across hybrid environments. Essentially, we're helping customers modernize with performance, flexibility, and AI readiness built in. And we continue to push the boundaries of cloud performance with innovations like Azure Boost, delivering up to 6.6 million IOPS and 200 gigabits per second networking, which is ideal for high performance and AI intensive workloads. But for VMware customers, we offer clear, cost-effective pathways to the cloud. Our VMware Rapid Migration Plan offers a 20% discount on one-year reserved instances through the end of 2025, with the ability to lock in savings for up to 5 years when moving to Azure VMware Solution. And we also help maximize existing investments with benefits like Azure Hybrid Benefit and extended security updates for 2012 and 2014 versions of Windows Server and SQL Server. And Azure VMware Solution is fully compatible with VMware Cloud Foundation. So if customers are wanting to bring their VCF subscriptions from their on-prem environment into Azure, they're eligible for discounted pricing, essentially extending the value of their current investments. And to further reduce the complexity of cloud adoption, we provide comprehensive support through Azure Migrate, which offers tooling, expert guidance, and even potential funding. And for a short time, we're offering up to 240K in Azure credits to offset some of those initial modernization costs, along with a 30-day three-node AVS pilot free through select partners to help customers try our offering before they fully commit.
Now, from your perspective, what are the most pressing technology changes that enterprises are grappling with in 2025? And maybe if you could share some specific examples from your own customer interactions.
Yeah, so I talked to a lot of customers and I'm excited to connect with customers at VMware Explore. However, what I've heard is that often enterprise customers, especially those running VMware on-prem, are grappling with several key challenges, and those include the push to modernize legacy workloads, concerns about downtime, complexity, and skill gaps. And that's where Azure VMware Solution really comes in and provides a great solution. So let me dive into that. AVS enables a lift and shift approach without the need to re-architect, and it provides a stable bridge to the cloud native adoption, allowing customers to move at their own pace while ensuring continuity. But we're also seeing a need to simplify multi-cloud operations and control costs. So in Azure VMware Solution, customers can use their existing skills while gaining better visibility and cost management through Azure's native tooling. And then security remains front and center. With the rise of ransomware and compliance pressures, AVS integrates seamlessly with Microsoft Defender and Sentinel, delivering enterprise-grade protection and streamlined compliance. And for teams that, feel the pressure of growing skill gaps within their organization, Azure VMware Solution enables them to operate in familiar territory while adopting automation, infrastructure as code, and some of our great AI-assisted tools to upskill over time and at their own pace.
Now, what specific value does Microsoft deliver to organizations that are running VMware environments? Like what are some of the key challenges that you guys solve that make VMware administrators want to stop by and check out your booth?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think our value proposition is simple. We help you bring what you know and trust into the cloud without disruption. Azure VMware Solution as a solution is a powerful option that combines all that familiarity of those VMware tools that people have built their careers on, with the scalability and innovation that's available in Azure. So the real benefit is continuity. Again, you're using it using the same skills that you've had. You don't have to refactor, you don't have to retrain, but you gain the ability to gradually integrate into Azure's native services when you're ready. And it goes beyond just migration. It's about transformation. We offer high performance infrastructure in Azure that improves availability and it unlocks the potential for application modernization. So you can keep running your applications while modernizing them in a very low risk way. And I think that's some real value that customers see from day one once they move into Azure.
Now, you've given us a lot to think about already, but if you could maybe walk us through your core technology offerings and give us that deeper technical dive into what your solutions do and how they work within an enterprise infrastructure.
Yeah, I'd love to touch on that. Our technology portfolio at Microsoft is really built to meet customers wherever they are in their cloud journey, whether that's lifting and shifting VMware workloads, modernizing applications, or managing hybrid environments with consistency and control. Our core message this year has really been around flexibility and choice. And so, what does that mean for VMware customers? Well, the fastest and most seamless path to the cloud is what I've been talking about, and that's Azure VMware Solution. And that's why I really champion it. It's a fully managed first party Azure service that replicates the on prem vSphere environment in the cloud and allows you to migrate as is without the need for refactoring and retraining. But it's also cost effective. I mentioned all those great offers. VMware technology is included with Azure Compute, and everything can be procured directly through Microsoft. But I also know that a lot of customers have already renewed their VMware Cloud Foundation subscription. So what's also great is that Azure VMware Solution fully supports the new VCF bundle and allows for use of those licenses on Azure VMware Solution. It's really a flexible path to Azure when you're ready, and it ensures that you can leverage your existing investments and that those investments continue to deliver value once you've moved over to Azure. But for applications that are cloud ready or require minimal changes, we have other great solutions. Customers can modernize with Azure native services like Azure Kubernetes Service, Azure Container Apps, or Azure App Service. And that, allows them to gain access to modern DevOps practices, scalability, and innovation. And then for the workloads that must stay on premises, Azure Arc extends Azure security, governance, and management capabilities to VMware environments, creating a really unified approach to managing hybrid infrastructure and complex IT environments.
To kind of help our audience understand the your competitive positioning, what makes your company and technologies kind of unique and differentiated in the marketplace, and what capabilities set you apart from other vendors in the space?
Yeah, so at a broad level, I think from an Azure perspective, our AI services and security offerings really set Azure apart as a cloud. And so we see a lot of customers migrating because they want to be able to transform applications that are core to their business. And they also want to be in the most secure environment available. But what sets us apart from, maybe a VMware migration standpoint and when you're thinking about migrating to an offering like Azure VMware Solution is how it blends familiarity with innovation. AVS gives customers a VMware private cloud foundation or VMware Cloud Foundation in a private cloud environment within Azure. So you get the environment, plus access to all that extra value I just mentioned, including AI and security. But another big advantage for a lot of our customers is cost savings. So with Azure Hybrid Benefit, customers can use their existing Windows Server and SQL Server licenses in Azure at no extra cost and even get free extended security updates for older versions. And AVS is also a managed service, which brings a lot of value. Microsoft takes care of the infrastructure, freeing up customers to focus on their applications and business priorities instead of managing hardware and dealing with a lot of the mundane tasks that, really are core to their current day-to-day operations. And, I mentioned security and compliance, right? Those are top priorities. And once customers move into an AVS or Azure environment, they benefit from Azure's strong security tools like Microsoft Defender and SIEM, helping protect workloads and meet stringent regulatory requirements. A really great example is how we've recently reached DoD IO level 5 for our government customers. And AVS is available in over 35 data centers worldwide. So customers can run their VMware workloads close to their users and deliver better performance and meet those compliance requirements all at the same time. So those are just a few things that come to mind and that I wanted to share today.
Well, those were some great answers, and I definitely invite anyone who's watching this video to rewatch just that part that's filled with a lot of good nuggets of information. Uh, Moving beyond even just talking about VMware Explore 2025, what are some of your company's key strategic priorities for the remainder of the year? What should customers and partners expect from you in the coming months?
Yeah, I'd love to touch on that. So, post VMware Explore, our focus really is on helping customers go beyond basic lift and shift. We're evolving AVS to run on Azure Fleet native infrastructure, which offers tighter integration with Azure services and lower latency, which is ideal for building high performance hybrid environments. We're also continually strengthening our ecosystem of partnerships, working closely with vendors like NetApp, Pure Storage, Veeam, Zerto, Jetstream, all to help customers manage storage, disaster recovery, and backup without replatforming. And on the availability front, we're constantly expanding. So I mentioned, we're available in 35 regions today with, we've had recent launches in South Korea and Spain, but there's more on the way. And this is all about giving customers more flexibility and global coverage as they move forward in their cloud journey and helping them do that with confidence.
So last year at this time, AI was kind of what everybody was talking about in the buzz, and I think that's still continuing on. Um, how is VMware like discussing their vision for the future, um, taking into account that these major technology trends are kind of shifting the way the industry is shaping in 2025? How are these trends influencing your roadmap and customer conversations?
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, there are three big trends or themes that we see shaping the future of enterprise IT and how we think about some of our core product offerings. And those include, AI infrastructure, the evolution of multi-cloud and cybersecurity resilience. So I've already touched on a lot of those things, but I'll dig into it a little bit more. AI is transforming how businesses operate from data centers to the edge. And it's not just about running AI workloads, it's about having the right infrastructure in place to support them at scale. And that means optimized GPUs, streamlined data pipelines, and intelligent automation baked into the stack. I think you'll see that across a lot of the offerings we have at Microsoft, even outside of Azure VMware Solution. And at the same time, multi-cloud strategies are growing up. What started as opportunistic use of different clouds is becoming much more intentional. Organizations are looking for better workload portability, cost visibility, and increasingly sovereign cloud solutions to meet strict regulatory environments. And with Microsoft, with Azure Arc and some of our other offerings, we really work to meet customers where they are. And of course, I've talked a lot about security. Security remains at the core of everything. It's no longer just a layer you add on. Zero trust, built-in resilience, and the ability to adapt quickly to new threats have to be part of infrastructure from day one. So those are things that I see and that Microsoft sees in the market, and I think we're doing our best to address that through cutting-edge products.
Now, this has been fantastic information, but before we let you go, Is there any way you can provide us with some sort of a demo for the viewers who are watching at home?
Absolutely. I'm excited to show some of this in action. So in the demo that I'll show, I'll start by demonstrating how to migrate an on-premises VMware workload to Azure VMware Solution using VMware HCX. It's fast, seamless, and best of all, it doesn't require app changes. Then I'll Arc enable the workload to bring it into the broader Azure ecosystem. That will unlock access to services like policy, governance, inventory, and monitoring, all without changing your existing environment. And finally, I'll show how easy it is to secure that workload using Microsoft Defender for Cloud. You'll see how quick, easy that is, and the recommendations you get immediately. Here I am in the HCX dashboard. It's been deployed with connections on premises and into AVS. I'll quickly show a layer 2 vMotion maintaining the original IP of my VM. This is what it looks like for one VM, but these settings for destination, compute, and storage can all be inherited. Hitting go kicks off and the vMotion starts. You can watch the events if an issue occurs, but you can also see the VM is migrating and the percentage complete in this window. Now that it's complete, you can see it's no longer on premises, and if I go into my vCenter for AVS, the VM is now there with no downtime. Let's talk about Arc enabling. I've already Arc enabled this VM, so it shows up purple in the Azure portal. And now I can choose Azure services to use, like enabling logs, monitoring, and policies. But I'll do a common one I've seen, which is updates. It's great to be able to patch VMs, whether they're in Azure or on premises in the same cycle. So I'll go through and enable and set a patch configuration with a maintenance window. Again, I have just one VM, but here you could pick multiple resources and then creating it is really easy. And here you see it's applying. But we can verify and even change settings like if we want to reboot or not. Now let's quickly go into security and enable Defender for endpoints. You'll see under Defender for Cloud, there's environment settings and you can see your subscription and setup plans. But because I work for Microsoft, this was already enabled, but this is where you'd go to select on for servers. Now that I've verified it's enabled, I can see there are already recommendations for my Arc enabled workload and I can choose what to remediate.
Liam, thank you for that great demo and all of the information that you shared with us today. And as always, we appreciate you taking time out to speak with Brian and I, as well as the VMblog audience. And we hope you and the team have a very productive VMware Explore event.
Hey, thank you for the great questions today. I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys at VMware Explore, as well as all of our customers.
Perfect. Yeah, I can't wait to see you there.